Good morning. Thanks for joining us for the Daily Rundown. I'm Kara Rucker. The Northeast is facing a record-breaking bitter cold this weekend. A change in gun laws related to restraining orders, and a woman who faked a cancer diagnosis is arrested. But we first begin with new details after a surveillance balloon said to be linked to Beijing was found hovering over the U.S. This is Straight Arrow News, unbiased, straight facts.
I was looking out the window like I normally do, and I just happened to spot it out of the corner of my eye. And at first I thought it was a star, but I thought that was kind of crazy because it was broad daylight. And when I looked at it, it was just too big to be a star.
New this morning, China says they are looking into reports of a surveillance balloon spotted above Montana and a potential second balloon that Canada is said to be monitoring. Chinese officials are asking world leaders to react calmly while China investigates the incident, saying China always abides by international law. Meanwhile, U.S. officials say they're closely monitoring the balloon flying well above commercial air traffic and say there is no threat of danger from the found object.
So the timing is unusual and in many respects unfortunate. President Biden has talked about keeping lines of communication open to the Chinese government. And Secretary Blinken's trip to the People's Republic of China in the coming days was part of that effort. So this creates a complication.
Federal law enforcement officials are in talks with former Vice President Mike Pence on conducting a consensual search of his residence after it was discovered last week that classified documents were at his home in Indiana. A date for the potential search has not been set, but could come within the next few days. The FBI would be looking for any other classified materials that could have made their way from the White House to a private residence. After an ice storm swept across the South this week, killing at least 8 people, now the Northeast is bracing for potentially the coldest temperatures felt in decades. Some places like Maine could experience feels-like temps as low as -50 to -60 degrees this weekend. Wind chill warnings went into effect this morning for 15 million Americans along the Northeast and will continue into Saturday afternoon. A federal appeals court ruled Thursday that people who have domestic violence restraining orders against them still have the right to own guns, overturning federal law. A Texas man argued the law was unconstitutional after he wasn't allowed to own guns following a domestic dispute that led to a protective order banning him from harassing, stalking, or threatening his ex-girlfriend and their child. While a federal appeals court earlier ruled against him, they have now reversed path, saying it is unconstitutional to take gun ownership rights away from people based on domestic violence restraining orders. The U.S. Justice Department has already released a statement condemning the ruling and signaling toward an appeal. This comes as gun laws at the state level are rapidly changing. California's governor introducing a bill just this week that would ban people from carrying concealed guns in nearly all public spaces unless a business owner puts up a sign that says guns are okay. An outbreak of a coral loss disease is threatening the world's third largest coral reef located right off the Florida Keys. 20 of the 45 species found there are said to be threatened by the outbreak. Scientists are intervening. They are removing samples of some species, placing them in a controlled lab, and trying to stimulate breeding conditions. The goal is to one day have the lab-grown coral offspring relocated at the reef, potentially by the hundreds of thousands if it ends up being successful.
This is a rescue in a real sense.
It's truly a rescue, and this is truly the first time many of us have been involved in rescuing an entire ecosystem.
A 19-year-old woman from Iowa accused of faking a cancer diagnosis to collect more than $37,000 in donations has been arrested for theft by means of deception. Her cancer journey on social media went viral. Thousands of people heard the woman's story on the app TikTok, and more than 400 went to a GoFundMe page to donate money for her treatments. The woman is accused of faking a football-sized tumor wrapped around her spine due to stage 2 pancreatic cancer. GoFundMe has refunded all of the donors and removed that fundraiser from their website.
We've been charitable most of our adult lives, and, people who inflict pain like this young lady has done, my opinion is that they're in a lot of pain themselves.
These are your top headlines on this Friday morning. Thanks for watching the Daily Rundown with Straight Arrow News. We're on a mission to bring back trustworthy journalism by only serving you, not an agenda. We'll see you back here at noon. Until then, I'm Kara Rucker. Have a great day.